I'm Gordon Dick and I'm the quarry manager here at Waddington Fell Quarry. The quarry's been operating now for several years under Aggregate Industries banner. We're a dimensional stone quarry as well as a sand quarry, so we operate with maintenance staff for the quarry in operation, as well as primary and secondary crushing, and a bank of stonemasons and sawing process.
I work for Aggregate Industries as a stonemason, and basically it's carving things out of stone using power tools. I use the 9-inch grinder, 9-inch circular saw, 5-inch grinder, 4.5-inch grinder, and the air hammer, air chisel.
Across the quarry and industry, most sites are almost exactly identical. We all operate production staff and we all operate maintenance staff, and once you take everything as a leveller, there's not a lot of difference between one quarry to another. Most of the quarries across the UK will be using exactly the same hand tools and exposing their operators to the same level of hand-arm vibration risk. We've become increasingly aware of the issues with hand-arm vibration on site in terms of maintenance and also for the stonemasons as well, with high exposure on both roles. Not only the stonemasons but also the quarry operators are also exposed to that hand-arm vibration in terms of the impact chisels and grinders, and we'd see high levels, especially in impact chisels, raking up to 400 points in a day.
At first you don't feel any vibration. After say 5 or 10 minutes you start to feel a slight tingling in your fingers, which lasts for maybe 10 to 30 seconds after use of the power tool has ceased. But I am regularly monitored for hand-arm vibration and I have regular screening. It's only in the last 5, 6, 7 years maybe that we did start monitoring it with a sheet of paper and a stopwatch.
With a paper-based system, you've got to start and stop your time as best you can with your trigger time, and that involves putting the tool down and start and stopping a stopwatch, or using a computer or a tracker on the power source itself. But you've also got to record and verify your own results, which is incredibly open to fraud. So you could have whatever result you feel you want for that shift.
You didn't know you was getting anywhere near your points until at the earliest the day after, so you'd know real record of it.
We've been running HAVmeter now for about 18 months, and directly after the implementation of the HAVmeter system we saw a 25% reduction in our points values due to the trigger time on the tools. This was purely down to the stonemason trying to start and stop his clock watch rather than having to just monitor it on his HAVmeter.
It was a leap forward, both in ease and time saving as well. As more time was spent actually doing the job. The
biggest impact that we've seen with the use of HAVmeter is the direct impact on our time and the saving that we've had at management level and processing the hand-arm vibration figures, and that's given us a massive saving in ability and time across the board. With approximately a dozen workers on site, it was taking us between 10 and 15 minutes to process on a daily basis the paper-based system. Now it takes us between 10 and 15 minutes on a monthly basis for the HAVmeter. Using the HAVmeter system allows me to comply with legislation by giving me all the information that I would need, depending who asks for it. I've got everything on hand. The companion software allows us to track the information on the tool usage and also allows us to track the deterioration and the vibration on the tool as well. I don't think you'd be able to get a much easier system than HAVmeter to operate, because all you have to do is swipe your card and pick up the flashing HAVmeter, insert it on the tool and work with the tool, return it to the base station at the end of the day. All our operators picked it up within 5 to 10 minutes of being trained at the toolbox talks.
It's made my life a lot easier, it really has. I don't have to think about it, and I don't have to spend time stopping and starting a stopwatch, to be honest. It's just a case of removing it from one tool, placing it on the next and remembering to do that.
Within Aggregate Industries we are operating a paper system, but the best practice is by far the HAVmeter, which is now taken off across some of the bigger sites and the more complex operations.